All right, Nick, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. This is a team we've talked about a lot lately, especially the culture behind the team and how well they treat their coaches and just how that attracts new talent. But sometimes it's not just new talent it attracts. Maybe old talent would want to come back to the team as well. We have a very interesting story of development on the Rams defensive coordinator situation. Let's get into the article and talk about it on the other side. This from NBC Sports. It says former Los Angeles Chargers head coach Brandon Staley may not be moving too far for his next job. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported the Los Angeles Rams will interview Staley on Wednesday for their defensive coordinator vacancy. He reportedly met with Miami Dolphins and Green Bay Packers already. Going to the Rams will be a reunion for the 41-year-old after working as an outside linebackers coach for the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. LA hired him as its defensive coordinator in 2020. The team allowed the fewest yards and points in the NFL that year, which Staley parlayed into his Chargers gig. I think this is going to be pretty good because Staley obviously has a good working relationship with Sean McVay, being the defensive coordinator for that 2020 year. They made a very competent defense there. I just think personally, the head coaching duties compiled with the defensive thing really wasn't Staley's cup of tea. He wasn't that good at mixing both things together. He's always been pretty good as a defensive coordinator, but when he had all the extra responsibilities, he kind of drifted. The Chargers had all the talent in the world on defense. They're very dynamic at times, but they just couldn't get it done on that side of the ball. So now coming back to the Rams, focusing on defensive coordinator position, building back his defensive acumen with still some of the key players from those Rams defenses and some very nice, bright, shining new upcoming stars on the Rams defense. I think this is a really interesting opportunity for both Staley to get back in the good graces of the NFL and McVay to have an old coordinator he's familiar with and has had success with in the past. Curious what your thoughts are, though, Nick. But Rams fans, let us know in the comment section below. DC position is open. Staley obviously is a guy you've had before. Do you want Staley back or would you like somebody else? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what do you think about this potential hire for the Rams?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's important to understand that the Rams defensively, while they did, it appeared eye test wise pretty well, especially with a lot of their young players. Statistically, they were not very good. This team, when it came to big moments, was carried by Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, in that offense. If you look at the numbers, the Los Angeles Rams in 2023 finished 20th in yards per allowed per game, 19th in points surrendered, and 30th in takeaways forced. Yep, 30th. Wanted to confirm that there. That's obviously not very good. That's bottom third. In the case of takeaways, that's literally the bottom three teams in the entire NFL in terms of forcing takeaways. That won't get it done. So while Raheem Morris is a quality coach, no one's debating that. It's not like he was leading the greatest defense of all time, and that's who they lost as their defensive coordinator. So they could use actually an upgrade at that position. And look, the last time Staley was here, to your credit, he led the Rams to being the number one defense in football. There is the potential he could do that again. But I want to focus on what this historically sounds like to me. And for fans of this channel who have seen our Rams content, I am a big Sean McVay guy. I personally think he is the closest thing to Bill Belichick and the Patriots that we've seen with how the Rams structure their football team, how they execute week to week, how intelligent their moves are. I know a lot of people look at the Chiefs and Mahomes and the dynasty they're created, and while they're winning like the Patriots, I think the Rams are structured very smart, just like the New England Patriots dynasty was. And if you remember how the Patriots dynasty kind of ebbed and flowed at certain times, they would have a coordinator like Josh McDaniels. He did great things with Tom Brady for a period of time under Bill Belichick. He left, tried to do his own thing. It was a disaster. He came back. He helped the Patriots win Super Bowls. I'm getting that kind of vibe here, right? You got a Brandon Staley, comes to the Rams, does a great job as part of McVay's coaching staff, gets a coaching job with the Chargers. It doesn't work, but that's okay. He gets to come back and help the Rams make another deep playoff run. Because like you said, Miles, he's still a heck of a defensive coordinator. I agree with your assessment. The fact that doing everything as a head coach on top of defensive play calling, he was not very good at that with the Chargers. I think this is looking like a potential perfect hire for the Rams if they can bring in Staley as their next DC. I would love this move if the Rams pull it off.
And you look at the Chargers, and people are going to point fingers and be like, well, maybe he fell off. Maybe he was a one hit wonder with the Rams, but he's had success throughout his career. And I want to parlay, just talk about for a minute. I don't necessarily think everything in the Chargers was Staley's fault. I think there's a lot on his plate. Obviously, you wonder if the moves by Tom Telesco were they good moves. There's a lot of heavy spending on the defensive side of the ball, but a lot of the moves just didn't end up panning out. I just think there's a lot of stuff going on that was working against Staley to allow him to not be very successful. So I think coming back to your point, to a smarter organization, a more well run, well built, well structured organization is where Staley needs to be. It's like you said, McDaniels in the structure and the confines of the Patriots organization. Very, very good. And also, just like some players from the Patriots as well, Jamie Collins is a guy that comes to mind. A fantastic outside linebacker for the Patriots. Go over to other organizations, kind of falter, then come back to the Patriots, be fantastic. Same thing with the coaches. When in the confines of that structure, they are good. So I'm thinking Staley comes back to the security and the well-runness of the Rams and comes back to his former career.